Did you know the only unrestored 1912 Henderson four-cylinder motorcycle in America still wears its original paint and tires? That's like finding a unicorn. If unicorns ran on gas! Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever seen a motorcycle so long it could double as a park bench in a marital counseling session? Yeah, that's the 1912 Henderson Four. You didn't just ride it, you committed to it. This wasn't just America's first great four-cylinder bike, it was America's first rolling statement. A bike so smooth, so long, and so expensive, it made your neighbor's horse look like a broke college student on a borrowed scooter. Before we dive in, smash that subscribe button to stay tuned for more ancient metal, restored egos, and two-wheeled dinosaurs that cost more than your cousin's house in Toledo. Now buckle up, or rather, hold on, because this is the Henderson Four. And if it goes past you, you hear it before you see it. And by the time you look, it's already done a lap around the earth and is back asking for gas money. So, let's set the scene. Detroit, 1911. Back when cars still scared horses and dentists made their own chloroform. In the middle of all that, 24-year-old William Henderson, a kid raised in engine grease and unrealistic dreams, sketched out a four-cylinder motorcycle. Not a bicycle with firecracker ambition, a real beast. His brother Tom, who I think mostly handled the budget and probably kept saying, "Are you sure about this?" helped him build the thing. By January 1912, their workshop cranked out the first production Henderson Four. That's right, January. Most people were still writing 1911 on their checks. These guys had already made America's smoothest, longest, fanciest motorcycle. And I mean long. With a 5 feet 5 inches wheelbase, 165 centimeters, this bike was basically a limousine with handlebars. Thanks to its 965 cubic centimeters, inline-4 F-head engine, this thing purred like a sewing machine and ran like it was late for a war. Started with a hand crank like a Winton car, single-speed chain drive and clutch. The bike was elegant, but not for the weak-wristed. Imagine starting your daily commute with the upper body workout of a 1920s farmhand. But boy, was it worth it. The ride was stable, comfortable, and shockingly fast. Over 100 miles per hour, 160 kilometers per hour, back when most roads were basically packed dirt and dreams. You didn't so much ride the Henderson, you glided into the future on it. The torpedo-shaped tank carried fuel and, let's be honest, half the elegance. The spring suspension up front made it feel like a magic carpet on wheels, even though it still braked like a falling fridge. One brake, rear only. Want to stop fast? Say a prayer and use your shoe. And before all the back-in-my-day couch experts start huffing into their mustaches, no, this wasn't just any old motorcycle. This thing was pure luxury. In 1912, the sticker price was $325. That's about $11,000 today. That was real money back then, enough to buy 3 horses, a barn, and a judge's opinion on what you were compensating for. But hey, Carl Stearns Clancy used a Henderson Four to ride around the freaking world. I'm not even kidding. 18,000 miles, 10 months, over 30 countries. On dirt roads in 1912. Meanwhile, my neighbor Gary can't even make it to Walmart without calling for a tow truck. And it's not just Carl. Cops loved it. Racers adored it. Mechanics hated it because nobody else was building anything like it. Every time Henderson added a new model, the B, C, D, E, F, G, they upgraded the gearbox, fixed the suspension, made the brakes slightly less terrifying, and added things like mechanical oiling and 2-speed rear hubs. But of course, war. 1917 hits, material shortages kick in, prices climb. By 1918, bicycle magnate Ignaz Schwind steps in, buys the company, and shifts production to his Excelsior Motor Company in Chicago. Tom and William stayed for 2 awkward years, like kids forced to work at Dad's new garage, and then left to start Ace Motorcycles. And friends, that's how you know they were real engineers. Quit a corporate gig, started over, kept chasing the perfect 4-cylinder. Absolute maniacs, and I love them for it. Technically, the 1912 Henderson Four had a 58.9 cubic inches, 965 cubic centimeters, inline-4 F-head engine with inlet-over exhaust design. It pumped out about 7 horsepower, cooled by air, breathed through a Schiebler carburetor, and sparked via magneto. 1-speed, chain drive. No gearbox yet, that came later. Its 65 inches wheelbase supported two saddles, one in the back and in early versions, one in front of the rider. Nothing says I trust you like sitting behind the rider on a motorcycle, staring between his shoulder blades and hoping he didn't have beans for breakfast. Wheels were 28 inches, tires 3.28, and the front brake was non-existent. Rear brake only. A leather strap acting like a lazy cowboy trying to slow down a buffalo. The frame? Steel, tubular, riveted with clamps. Weight, about 350 to 400 pounds, 160 to 180 kilograms, depending on options like handlebars and hope. And yes, top speed, over 100 miles per hour, again, in 1912. And now let's talk money. As I said, original price in 1912 was $325. Later models, like the 1915D, ran from $295. Then came World War I inflation. The 1916 to 17 models climbed back to $325. That's what happens when the world wants steel for tanks, not toys. But now, oh boy, oi. In 2017, a restored 1912 Henderson Four sold at Macomb, Las Vegas for $490,000. That's nearly $500,000 for a motorcycle that looks like it could use a nap and a tetanus shot. Another 1913 Henderson from the same auction went for a humble $150,000. A bargain if you happen to be a sheikh or a retired toothpaste mogul. And I'll say this, folks, the Henderson Four deserves the praise, not because it was perfect, but because it dared to be different. It wasn't built for everyone. It was built for dreamers, for adventurers, for the guy who thought, why not put 4 cylinders on 2 wheels and make every other rider feel underdressed? It's a motorcycle with a legacy. It took someone around the world. It outran trains. It turned Detroit into a 2-wheeled capital. So hats off to the 1912 Henderson Four, the motorcycle that made even speed limits nervous. If you ever see one in person, just know you're looking at something rarer than honest political promises. See you next time on Timmy Tiny Wheels, where the bikes are old, the jokes are older, and the host still can't find neutral.